Morning. I saw someone weeing on the side of the road today and I walked behind him and then didn't realise what he was doing. I am going to the 9/11 Memorial and Museum today. I didn't manage to get free tickets because they do free tickets on Mondays, but every time I've tried to do it, it stopped working, so I couldn't get any free tickets, so I had to pay $30 for it. But I don't mind because it's for a good cause. The kind of reasoning for what I'm paying for is valid. So yeah, it's justified. So I'm gonna try and find it now because I don't actually know where I'm going. But I'm sure I will figure it out. Right, let me gather my bearings. Okay, I found it. It's there. Can you see? That's not it. That's it. I got off at the wrong metro station, so I had to walk an extra 10 minutes instead of a 1-minute walk. So I'm not entirely happy about that, but I'm here. Quite hot, I think. It's still windy, but it's not as bad as the other day. But I think being in a building that have so much reflective like material, like mirrors and glass, I can feel the heat. I don't know if that makes a difference, but in my mind it does. So I'm hoping it kind of, there's a breeze, but oh, I didn't even look at the sign to cross the road or not. Anyway, let me try and get up there. Yeah, up the stairs. There's police up there, so I'm gonna get nervous. I'm gonna turn this off. Okay, so I'm sitting near Wall Street. I haven't updated the vlog in a while. This morning I went to the 9/11 Museum. After that, I went to the Oculus and went to the Apple Store because I wanted to buy this case and it was cheaper here. And because it was cheaper here, I also bought a rare tag. So I had a little spenny day. And then I went to eat lunch at this thing called Beatnik or something like that. It's a fully vegan restaurant. And I had some of the best food there. There was like Buffalo, California, like Poppers. And then I had it was a burger, but it was like a pizza. It was like the mozzarella, tomato and basil, or like spinach, that pizza as a burger, but with chicken, but not chicken, but it was really good. And then I had a pomegranate lemonade. It was like $22 though, so very expensive, but the food was really, really good. And I think it's their sister counterpart in London, by Chloe, I'm pretty sure. So I did that. That was in the West Village, little mooch around the West Village, and then I quickly got onto the subway again, and then went to the Staten Island ferry. I literally just got on to go to Staten Island just to see the Statue of Liberty because I was going to pay and go to actual Statue of Liberty Island, but I literally didn't want to spend any more money, and the Staten Island ferry is free, so I went to Staten Island, saw the Statue of Liberty, which you saw, and then just took it back straight after. 9/11 Museum was really hard to get tickets for the free portion of the day because there's so many people. Also, it was like £20, I think, like £23. It was definitely worth the amount of money that I spent because it looks a lot smaller on images, but there's a lot to kind of cover inside. Then there's a specific September 11th, 2001 exhibition inside the 9/11 Museum, which is really long and it's quite overwhelming because there's a lot going on. There's a lot on the walls, there's a lot over the speakers, and they didn't really like regulate the flow of people in there that well, so it was really crowded. So I kind of just skipped a lot of the artifacts because it was just too crowded and I was getting really overwhelmed. But that portion really got me, and I was in tears. I don't think I've ever found something so traumatic and something so overwhelming. Being in that room was just a lot because there was too many people and like just a lot of stuff going on. But also there's a specific part of that has a warning outside saying some of the stuff, there's actually two parts to say, some of the stuff you may see around here you might find disturbing. And I stupidly went in because I still wanted to see, and I knew what it was going to be, and it was the people taking their own lives and jumping. And there's a few quotes. I'm getting worked up again. I took some pictures because I didn't want to I didn't stay in there very long. I watched it and there were phone calls that were playing and like people talking to their loved ones, and it was horrible. There was a few quotes about people who saw people jumping, and there were two specifically that I took pictures of because they were the ones that just set me off because I just could not imagine. There was one about a lady holding her skirt, and then it's just a lot. It's a lot to try to process, and just hearing the voices and stuff. Like every time you hear it, it doesn't get any easier to hear people like know they're gonna die. So if that's not something you would want to see, there are signs that say to like move on from this, and you should ask someone when you're there, because I don't know if they change things around. But that was really difficult, and I don't think I've ever had to experience something so intense in terms of museum wise like that. In like Cambodia, I think the stuff in Cambodia that I covered, I'll post it on the screen. That was really hard to go through because it was where it happened in Auschwitz as well. But Auschwitz I was very numb in, but this I was kind of just sobbing. Auschwitz I was numb because it didn't feel real. It felt like a weird void. And I gotta say the waterfalls outside are really peaceful. It's kind of like a weird boxy void where you can still hear the city, but it's just mellow and it's just silent to the point where it's the bare minimum, and it just feels like a weird bubble. It feels like a bubble type energy, like you feel like you're floating in it. It doesn't feel like it's on Earth, which is really weird. I think it's just the whole emotional aspect of it that kind of takes you out of it and makes you feel really disorientated. But yeah, it was hard. It was a difficult thing to do, but I'm glad I did it. Went on the Staten Island ferry, saw the Statue of Liberty, and on the way back the sunset setting, so it's quite nice. There's like a gold tint to everything, and behind me is the Bull from Wall Street. I'm near Wall Street now, so I'm actually going to go walk there afterwards because it's getting cold now. But yeah, just wanted to kind of give a lowdown of how the day was. I'm quite exhausted, not tiring wise because I haven't actually done that much today. I'm just emotionally exhausted because I cried a lot. I kind of got to a point where I had to cover my face with my hat and my mask because I just could not, they put tissue boxes around everywhere, and I was just like so overwhelmed and so engrossed in it that I think my mask was wet by the end of it. I'm gonna make my way back to my hotel in a bit. I think the sun is basically gone. So yeah, that was me 10 minutes rambling in public. So that's been my day. And I've decided that 7 days was not enough. And I'm gonna come back to New York, which I decided the moment I landed. There is so much stuff I still haven't done, but it's okay because then I can come. It gives me more of a reason to come back anyway, which I was gonna do anyway. So there's a lot of stuff that I haven't actually been able to do. So a little bit disappointed, but I have done as much as I physically possibly can, given the fact that, well, not given the fact that I've done as much as I can without destroying myself in terms of tiredness. Waking up at like 7 is enough for me. But yeah, need to go do some other bits and bobs. But then I'm gonna make my way to my hotel again. Thank you.